NXT Halloween Havoc may not have delivered a high spectacle, but it did continue to develop the biggest feud on NXT. And yeah, we had a lot happening on this week's show, basically all of the fallout from that, as well as some big matches as well on the show that shouldn't just be thought of as fallout from the pay-per-view, including our opening match, a casket match between Wendy Chu and Tatum Paxley. Paxley was fighting from behind throughout a wild brawl, but she managed to send Chu off the casket through and bed with a foreign signature. The impact left Chu vulnerable to throw in the casket and lose. While the stakes were lower than the WWE performance, and so this match felt like it lived up to the energy of Halloween Havoc better than any match on the main card. It was a pure plunder contest with plenty of props involved that built to memorable moments. It felt like Paxley matched and ultimately exceeded Chu's wildness to pick up the win. This is a nice win for Paxley, who needs a consistent push for this spot. She has outperformed her spot for a while and soon earned a call up from the main roster. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I thought this was definitely better than I expected it to be, and they really delivered here. For me, yeah, the right result as well. 6 out of 10. Trick Williams called out Bubba Ray Dudley, who explained that he beat down Ridge Holland for his disrespect. Trick asked Bubba to team with him against Holland and Ethan Page in the 2,300 arena on November 6th. He refused because he didn't want to take the spot of an NXT star. This was a longer segment than it needs to be, but it did reach better conclusion than expected. Bubba put over Trick and set up the champions Find a Friend who can now watch his back. It was an important angle for the NXT champion that will have ramifications beyond next week. However, the potential angle did not last the light. Spooky. Charlie Dempsey then battled Alexis King for the Heritage Cup, and Dempsey dominated early and caught him a butterfly suplex in the bridge for a first fall in round 1. Dempsey injured King's knee in the second round and then dominated the rest of the way. He finished it with round 3 with another bridging butterfly suplex. It was a better piece of business in a wrestling match, but it succeeded in its purpose. The goal was to make King more sympathetic and showed heart and a refusal to cheat throughout. Dempsey dominated throughout, and Mr. Regal's influence was minimal. Still, the angle worked. King came out of this looking more interesting than he ever has done in NXT. And the next step is to make the beyond the basic angle. King should not be there to tell everyone he's not Brian Pillman Jr. He should be making a focus of his own character. And for me, while it's better, it still just doesn't really stand out like Lexis King's segments really should do for me. The match was okay, but yeah, nothing more than that. I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Before we got Zariah taking on Brynley Reese, and Zariah destroyed Brynley in a brutal display that ended with a spear and an F5. Fatal influence Roxanne Perez and Corey Jade looked to make a statement at the expense of Zariah. Instead, Jordan, Vicker and Julia and Grace arrived to stand and fight with the fan favourites. About entertaining as a squash can get, Zariah landed on NXT with fire. Reese played her role well, competed in the moments before she was overwhelmed. The match could have been enough, but NXT added so much. A 10 women brawl would definitely be interesting because, you know, some big names in the division at the moment, and it just feels so hot. And yeah, we've got a clear sight of where Zariah's going, and Jordan Grace back in the mix too. Before we got Kalani Jordan against Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons looked poised to pull off an upset against Kalani, but Rizzo distracts her. This allowed Jordan to duck the Lyons Roll and hit the split leg and result for the win. Afterwards, Rizzo attacked Lyons as well as trying to break them up. Jordan's evolution from newcomer to reliable in-ring hand has been quick. She's one of the most reliable performers, but this was Russia. It's hard to imagine anyone getting more out of Lyons in 3 minutes, but you know, they should really have had more time. It was the right winner, but yeah, still, Jordan should be protecting the main event result, and Rizzo gave Lyons an out while setting up an interesting view for next month. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Before Ridge Holland interrupted All Ego Ethan Page to call his shot for an NXT Championship, Bubba Ray Dudley took offence to Holland's taunting and stormed the ring. The Hall of Fame tried to talk some sense into the Englishman, but the heels seemed up on him. Trick Williams made a save, and Bubba officially agreed to team with the NXT Champion. But gone going too long again, this segment was the opposite of the Trick Bubba exchange. It reinforced the star of the moment and was legend, not the current wrestlers. Despite all the efforts of the commentary, even the generous NXT fans have not brought into Ridge as a top heel. The story's not going to be a missing piece, even if the fans love Trick and nostalgia. All signs are pointing to the men of the NXT roster putting over the ECW legends of the past, while the women will likely steal the show next week. Fraxium then defended their titles against Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander. Evans was too much for Fraser and Axiom until Wesley distracted the young OG. The tool brought back to and about leaving Cedric Alexander to fall the brainbuster golden ratio combination. Evans and Lee kept fighting backstage until the officials broke it up. Rob Van Dam told them they had a great idea for next week's NXT. It was the best NXT match of the past few days by a solid margin. Alexander was pushed to keep up with 3 of the fastest wrestlers in WWE and showed out more than he has in years. NXT clearly values the young OG and showed Heatwave, for example. It's such a shame the finish was so messy, and Fraser and Axiom is back to arguing as it could have reached new heights. Perhaps a rematch is down in order down the line. Fraser and Axiom remain a fantastic tag team though. The stories are looping though, and more teams kind of need to step up to them because I think this match kind of showed what they can really do. So it gets 7 out of 10 from me. Overall, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, it's a bit of a weird episode of NXT for me. Some bits were really good. I'm really enjoying the women's stuff, the tag division at the moment, etc., etc. But some bits were weird. I was pleased that Bubba Ray was kind of step aside in the ECW arena. But like I said, that obviously didn't last long. So I'm kind of intrigued to see where it all goes. And NXT at the moment, it's an interesting
Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.